Brock is out, Bron is in, Mr. Breakker got a big opportunity at the Royal Rumble and he took full advantage of it, and it might even see him be moved permanently to the main roster. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We're 24 hours, not even 24 hours away from the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble might have sucked. It might not have been a great pay-per-view, it might not have been a great match, but one person that did have a great moment was, of course, Bron Breakker, a guy that wasn't even supposed to be in the match. He only sneaked through the back door at the last minute, but there's no doubt after that performance he certainly left through the front door. Now, Brock Lesnar, who was supposed to be in the match, obviously he sat this one out because of the whole McMahon allegation lawsuit that's going on, and we've talked enough about that, so unless there's any more news, I don't really want to drag on that. I don't want to talk about it forever because there's only so much you can say. We've already said our piece here on this channel, but essentially Brock Lesnar was taken out for that reason, and they needed someone to fill that spot, and they gave that spot to Bron Breakker, and I completely agree with the choice here. For me, Bron Breakker should have been called up to the main roster a long time ago. It's been over a year now since he lost his World Championship on NXT, or the NXT Championship. I know they don't call it a World Championship, but still, it's been a year now where he has been just floating about the roster, not doing much. At the moment, he's kind of in a comedy tag team with Baron Corbin, and Bron Breakker's just so much better than that, so he needs to be called up. He needs to be on the main roster. This is a guy that I can see main eventing Manias in a few years. This is a guy that should be fighting for world championships, not getting lost in the pack, in the shuffle in NXT. Anyway, Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com stated the following about Bron Breakker, who took Lesnar's spot in the match. He says, quote, "I think most people know this, but Brock Lesnar was scheduled to return to Rumble, and this was changed, obviously, because of the lawsuits, and that change probably happened Friday, most likely Saturday morning. And Bron Breakker, because of that, and the fact that this match was pretty much scripted out already, Bron Breakker essentially fulfilled the Brock Lesnar role. He came in when Brock Lesnar was going to come in, he threw out the guys Brock was going to throw out, and he got thrown out exactly how Brock Lesnar was supposed to be. It was definitely Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker was not scheduled for the Rumble. He was called up. Brock was not going to be in there. Brock was going to be in there looking impressive, and they needed someone to fill those shoes. There wasn't a lot of guys they would give him that spot to." End of quote. I actually agree with Meltzer for once here. I don't think there's a lot of guys that could have filled that spot. And you look at Bron Breakker, he did come in. It makes sense now why he looked so good, because he was given the Brock Lesnar role where he came in, eliminates Jimmy, eliminates Finn Balor, eliminated Almost. There was somebody else he chucked out as well. So he chucked out some decent people, of course, including the big giant Almost. And I think this just proves that in order to be a star, you need to be booked like a star. We hear that wins and losses don't matter, but it's bullshit. You look at Brock Lesnar, what took him to the next level, apart from being absolutely dominant in matches, when he ended the streak, that propelled him. You look at Roman Reigns, why is he considered, the greatest of this era? It's because he's had a near 4-year title reign and no one can get the belt off him. Why is Gunther considered unstoppable on Raw or SmackDown? Because he's got the Intercontinental Championship and no one can take it away from him, no one can beat him. So of course wins and losses matter. They need to create that next dominant star. I think Bron Breakker could be it. But in order to do that, they're going to have to push him like a star. They're going to have to book him like a star. Wins and losses 100% matter. How dominant you look in a match 100% matters. And I think we need to see Bron Breakker get booked like this more often. Because if he starts sharing wins, if he starts going 50-50 with guys, he's not going to feel like a big attraction. He's not going to feel like a dominant star, a big deal. And he should feel that way, because this guy can do things in the ring that a lot of guys cannot. He reminds me of like a Bobby Lashley when he was first starting in WWE, or like a Goldberg, someone who was young and physical and strong and powerful. The speed of Bron Breakker as well. Freaky shit this guy can do. The way he gorilla press slams people up, man. The guy's got the strength, the guy's got the speed, the guy's got the look, the guy has got everything, and he should be the next big star. He should be the next guy in WWE. I would go as far as saying he should be the one that could have maybe dethroned Roman Reigns. Had they brought him up to the main roster a year ago, they could have built him, and he could have been the one taking on Reigns at WrestleMania 40, but instead we get the Cody rematch. And Breakker spoke about his performance, and he basically said that he's joining the main roster after the Royal Rumble. He says, quote, Tonight I proved I belong on the main roster. This is my home now, and I'm ready for the work. I'm ready to prove to my peers and to everyone out there who believes in me that this is where I belong and what I was born to do. Judgment Day, got it coming, I promise you. End of quote. So Bron Breakker, according to that, seems to think he's on the main roster. Will he be finishing up on NXT soon? I hope so. I think the guy's way too good to be in NXT. I think he's did what he needed to do on NXT. He had like almost a year title reign. That's enough. He's done that. Now he needs to move up, and he needs to. If this guy can't beat Roman Reigns, then he 100% should take the belt off Gunther. If he can't beat Reigns, let him beat Gunther, because Gunther's on an unbeaten streak at the moment as well. Gunther is pretty close to unbeatable. Nobody can stop him, but Bron Breakker, I think, can definitely stop him. Anyway, guys, that's it. Bron Breakker took Brock Lesnar's spot. That explains why he looks so good in the Rumble. Hopefully he does get called up to the main roster, and I hope come the end of WrestleMania, Bron Breakker is the new Intercontinental Champion. Anyway, that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you next time. Peace.